Minister, you were one of the leaders who spearheaded the 8th January presidential campaign. Yes or no?
We have no regrets. Actually, we are determined to move forward to fulfill the aspirations of the people who voted with the President Maithripala Sirisena.
Do you have a say in the present administration?
Yes, we have. And we are actually shaping and moving the entire ideology as well as the entire campaign towards this, and we are now in the process of fulfilling what we have been given by the people, and therefore we are trying to form a new platform to march forward to achieve unfulfilled goals.
Unfulfilled goals. What are these goals?
Basically, we have to change the constitution, especially the electoral system, to do away with this mana pay system, and to establish a kind of new system to ensure that each constituency have their own representative. At the meantime, we have to ensure that free and fair, equal opportunity ground for all the state activities. For example, business activities, we have to ensure level playing ground and also the transparent process. At the meantime, I think we now need kind of new economic strategy towards a knowledge-based economy.
Are you close confidant of the President? Are you closely working with the President?
Yes, definitely.
However, you got to know about the resolution of Parliament through a Colombo-based diplomat. Am I right?
No, that actually one Colombo-based diplomat stated that Parliament is going to dissolve. But the thing is that the day before this thing, President consulted us, myself and Dr. Rajasenara.
You were surprised that the Parliament was dissolved?
No, that I am not surprised. That our opinion was that Parliament should be dissolved after passing this very important 20th Amendment.
Are you surprised that the United People's Freedom Alliance have agreed to provide candidature to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa?
I am not surprised, but I am worried because it is not a personal thing with Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa. It is a kind of phenomenon that he created that ruined the country. So we badly wanted to change this structure or the phenomena that is lumpenizing the whole society, whole political arena, business ventures, even the officials among the government sector. So we wanted a kind of full package of change, structural change, political reforms and things like that.
You wanted to throw President Mahinda Rajapaksa out from power, and that is what you campaigned for. Are you not ashamed to be in the same camp now, Minister?
No, that we have succeeded, no? We have
succeeded in which way?
We have simply ousted Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa from the presidency. Now it is up to them, I mean the SLFP, to change and restructure and rebrand their party.
Will he be the next Prime Minister?
I don't know. It is up to the people to determine on this matter.
With regard to moving forward, the JHU, what is the future course of action in terms of your party?
Yeah, it is actually contextual thing. At the very present situation, we are determined to move forward with the same agenda approved by our people there in January 8th.
January 8th presidential elections. Minister, are you satisfied the way in which Sri Lanka has moved forward, or are you really worried about the future of Sri Lanka?
I'm not worried. We are very much optimistic because now the society is very, I think, empowered, and also they all know that what is going on, and they are enlightened, and I think almost all the politicians should restructure their parties, should restructure themselves, and should have a kind of vision for the future. I think we have to have a kind of new economic strategy, and new political reforms to facilitate this new economic strategy.
You, during election campaigning, said that we have to create a drug-free parliament, we have to create ethanol-free country, we have to create a society where drugs, ethanol, casinos are not in operation. However, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa was flanked with a group of individuals who facilitate these moves. Are you not worried about Sri Lanka anymore?
Yes, I am worried. I am worried because if this phenomenon is going to be continued, that would be a disaster, right? That is actually going against what has been the clear mandate there in January 8. That's why we are creating a third or an alternative platform to aware the people about this menace, about this challenge, and we are determined to, that succeed and move forward with the new agenda to create a new society with the unfulfilled promises or hopes there in January 8th silent revolution.
6.3 million voters voted in favor of President Maithripala Sirisena. Are you not betraying them?
Yeah, definitely we are not going to betray because 1/3 of this vote was coming from the moderate, educated, learned cream of this society. So we are actually representing this segment of the society, and this segment of the society will create a new society, new future for our children.
What is the party in which you will be contesting the upcoming elections?
It is not still not determined, but in the time to come, within next 2 days' time, we will announce the new front and the new symbol. We actually put an advertisement there in papers to call for a new nominations, and we are very much encouraged because a lot of good responses from the professional class from all over the country.
Why not contest with the United National Party? Why not contest with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party at the upcoming votes?
Both parties, I think, they don't understand the mandate given to the President Maithripala Sirisena. The message actually sent by the people of this country, especially the learned, educated, middle class, their aspiration and their hopes. They are not going to restructure or rebrand their parties. It is very clear evident to us that both parties are not going to change their policies, change their structures, change their individuals. So we are determined now to change the whole structure, change the whole political culture, and introduce new political culture with new ideas, especially the knowledge-based economy to this country and innovation-based manufacturing society, and at the meantime, most importantly, the political infrastructure which is needed to move forward this country into a higher income level, tunneling through this middle income trap, and also creating a kind of level playing ground and equal opportunity, and ensuring the equal opportunity and also the transparent process in every aspect of the society.
Do you have dreams in this political sphere? What do you want to become in the next few years, if I ask you?
No, that actually I am one of the persons who drives this country throughout these decades in the main political issues like defeating terrorism, ensuring the unitary character of the society, and also the democratization process there in 2015. And now my aim is to create a kind of new economic strategy based on innovation, and also create a kind of new society based on equal opportunities, while ensuring the environmental sustainability and most importantly the individual happiness.
Do you aspire to be in the driving seat to take Sri Lanka to the next level?
It is actually up to the people of this country to decide on these matters.
Let me put it very straight. Do you aspire to become the president of the country?
People are some individuals are charged in these things, but we are not going for a positions. And we work hard It was to show that there can be a kind of new country based on professional politicians. That example I am trying to build up.
Many say that the JHU has a very hardline position towards the minority communities in Sri Lanka. How do you counter this allegation if you are going to be or move towards your next step in the political sphere?
That's not true. Going against terrorism and going against minorities is a different thing. Everyone knows that when we exercise our state power as ministers, we actually create kind of equal footing for every individual therein belongs to every community. So we gave them a clear example how to govern this country with equal opportunity, with equal status, without encouraging this social status or community-based things.
Minister, my final question to you. You used to be very vocal on issues relating to Sri Lanka. You've been very vocal with regard to good governance. What is worrying you now? What is going on in your mind right now when you think about the future of Sri Lanka?
Yes, actually, if you are not going to choose right people, right parties to next parliament, we will, I think, we don't have a kind of new future for us. The country will be destabilized. Therefore, the voters or the citizens of this country's prime aim should be to create a society based on good governance and economy based on knowledge and innovation.
Thank you very much, Minister, for joining us right here on our Newsline show. I have a man this evening with a lot of integrity in the political arena. Former Minister Vasudeva Nanayakkara. Mr. Vasudeva Nanayakkara, have you signed the nomination papers?
I have.
For which district will you be contesting?
Ratnapura district.
There has been occasions in which just because you sign the nominations papers, you just don't receive the nomination to contest an election. Will that happen this time around as well?
That will be only by some fraudulent intervention to Tipex and introduce another name in my name's place, which I doubt will ever happen.
It has happened in the past.
It may have happened in the past at the district levels or at local levels, but with Sushil Premajan as the secretary of the UPFA, it is never going to happen.
Who don't you trust in this clan?
Well, there are the sections who are opposed to the Mahinda faction, who can influence Sushil. Those Sushil will refuse to be influenced wrongly. And therefore, they are the suspects who might come in to try and invalidate our nomination paper by a trick.
Do you have a plan B in the event the names are Tipexed as you said before?
No, we have no plan B except we have the last resort, the Commissioner of Elections. He will not allow a fraudulent practice.
Who is your leader?
Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Why not President Maithripala Sirisena, who is the chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and also the leader of the United People's Freedom Alliance?
Well, we can accept him as a co-leader because he is now the chairperson of the SLP and the UPFA. But he was not the popular leader elected by the SLP.
But he received 6.3 million votes at the last presidential elections.
UNP vote. UNP and other vote aligned to the UNP. Our vote came entirely to Mahinda. So therefore, Mr. Maithripala Sirisena is not the organic leader of the forces of the UPFA. However, we have to accept his titular position.
Can you move forward without accepting President Maithripala Sirisena as the leader?
Yes, we can move forward on the footing that he is a part of the leadership.
Will nominations be given to individuals who advocate suppression, corruption?
Well, to advocate suppression is insufficient. We have to ascertain corruption or such other defilements in a person in the political life.
But do you believe that those integrity which has been come into question is not suitable to take up positions in Parliament?
Well, these are matters which are arguable for the reason Now, a person will say, I am innocent. Please try me in the court and then determine my guilt or innocence, which he has a right to say. But on the other hand, there is a popular perception that the person is corrupt or that the person is not acceptable for other reasons of his defilements, political defilements. Then there is what is known as the public perception. That public perception is to some extent reflected in media, and the media also cultivate these matters in order to enhance the public perception. So this, however, has brought about a certain impression in the country. Such impressions have to be given consideration.
Has the position of Vasudeva Nanayakkara changed over the years? That is what I'm gathering right now.
I am uncompromising and irreconcilable on the questions of corruption or such other what do you call it? I call it political defilements. What do you say?
You tell me, Mr. Nanayakkara.
Such other misconduct,
indisciplinary actions.
Yes.
Again, how many votes or how many seats would the United People's Freedom Alliance garner at the next general elections?
About 100. It would be probably over 100.
113 seats are needed to establish a government.
Yes.
How do you all intend to
I
bring
believe
this
there will be
or
those
gain
who
this
will want to
13?
form a government joining us, or those who will want to join us in order to form a government. So we can accept it.
Optimism alone, will that be sufficient to win the race?
No. We have to make a assessment, objective assessment of the situation. Our objective assessment, which we call objective, is that we will find the necessary numbers.
Will the minorities support a UPFA?
Yes, some minorities. Devananda will support. With his people elected, then Ataullah, Hizbullah, Pillan with those elected in the east under their tickets, they will come together with us because they are a part of us.
Many are of the opinion that the United People's Freedom Alliance was thrown out of power during the last elections because of corruption, because of suppression.
No.
Have you all changed?
No, I don't think that was the reason.
What was the reason then?
The reason was, firstly, perception of corruption and misconduct. Perception. Not that it was a major charge against the UPFA government by the people. Most important was the cost of living. Thirdly, the style of governance, which had a rough edge.
Style of governance, cost of living. How do you all intend
perception
about corruption? How do you all intend to rectify these problems if
already
you all form a new government?
Already Mahinda Rajapaksa, our leader, has said we will correct the mistakes that we have made, and which I believe includes what I had already said.
Do you see President Maithripala Sirisena and former President Mahinda Rajapaksa working together to form a new government?
Yes, of course. I would look forward to it, and I believe it is possible.
From a president to just a parliamentarian, if elected, how do you foresee the future of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa?
When he is elected?
If he is elected.
Well, I go as when he is elected. And he will come on top of the list in Kurnagar. And when he is elected, he will have sufficient numbers behind him in order to compel the president to call him up to form the government.
Again, do you think that he will be appointed as the Prime Minister?
He has to be appointed as the Prime Minister if he enjoys the confidence of the large majority in the Parliament. That is a constitutional provision.
Has the United People's Freedom Alliance named a Prime Ministerial candidate?
No such naming is done at this stage. Prime Minister is nominated or appointed by the President after the elections, and before elections anybody is a candidate only.
Will you win the polls from the Ratnapur district?
I expect to win the election and become elected in Ratnapura district better than last time.
Mr. Nanayakkara, many are of the opinion, many believe that you have done so much of work to the community at large. What have you gained personally over the years being a politician?
Nothing except my own satisfaction, which is supreme for me.
Do you think that is sufficient alone to move forward?
That is sufficient for my purpose of living for the purpose which I think is noble.
Why are you campaigning so much for former President Mahinda Rajapaksa?
I am not campaigning for him. I am campaigning for 4 objectives in this country which are presently symbolic or reflected with Mahinda Rajapaksa.
What are these objectives?
Mahinda. Objectives are national freedom as opposed to servile relationship with the Western powers. 2, democratic practice which he has demonstrated by vote in the northern election, and also by continuing to give the local government bodies the maximum possible in order that they become the leaders in their own areas. 3, the unity of the nation which required the ending of the war and which he did. And 4, economic policy which is nationalist in outlook and also self-dependent as far as possible while maintaining relationship with the other markets which are necessary and important for us.
Will the former president receive the support of the international community?
Yes, I consider the international community will be with him on the same lines that he adopts in their respective countries. When I say the international
What about the Western world?
Western world will first test him and then accordingly act in relation to this new government. I don't think they will dismiss it at the very first instance. They will watch how we will move on. We are going to not have bad relations in regard to investments, trade. So trade and investments are very important to them. So we will have the doors open and the encouraging environment for investment and trade.
However, during the former president's regime, there was somewhat a upheaval relationship between the West and Sri Lanka. Agreed or disagree?
That is political. That is political. They wanted us to be in their bosom, in the alignment of forces internationally, which we refused. We supported Iran and its independence. We supported Palestine and its independence.
All countries against the Western world.
Yes. Many countries are against the Western world's policies of aggression in Syria, in Iraq, in Libya.
Thank you very much for joining us right here.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Naikara.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on board.